We're in Oxfordshire today, slap bang in the middle of Motorsport Valley. We've come to this place, Ford Chip Ganassi Racing, to find out how they make their Le Mans winning Ford GT car. We'll be going behind the scenes to see what makes the team tick, find out what a race team do when they're not racing, and how they make championship winning cars.
In this department here in England, we run the WEC, so it's the 9 rounds that run through Europe and the world for the World Endurance Championship.
Famous, of course, would be Le Mans.
Obviously, Le Mans is, despite it being the race middle of the season, is still, without a shadow of a doubt, the most important race, the race most manufacturers put all the effort into, and particularly with Ford, with our history of 50 years ago.
That was the reason this whole sort of project kicked off, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, 50 years ago, 1966, they went to Le Mans and beat Ferrari. Managed to do it for 4 years, 66, 7, 8 and 9. So obviously we've just done 2016, and the program's been extended now for 3.5 years to make it 4 years in total. So I assume our bosses would like us to win it 4 years in a row. But it's interesting how many people are real Ford fans and really were behind Ford winning Le Mans. You know, it attracts a huge fan base. You know, Ford worldwide has got a tremendous fan base, and the return of the GT was big news at Le Mans, and it was, you know, very, very good to be part of it. I mean, that's why I joined, was to go back to Le Mans with the Ford GT. There's 3 years to come. We're going to try and win at those races, but right now one of the cars leads the championship, so the push is to win the championship. Yeah, Le Mans was the aim. The result was, you know, exactly as we'd worked very, very hard for, but it was the result we wanted. But now we need to build on that. So there's another 5 races. So we're in terms of championship, we're kind of halfway. In terms of mileage, we'll do. In terms of mileage, the team will do, traveling to the events. Now it gets serious. You know, we're starting to go to South America and, you know, the US and onwards to Asia.
And just the sheer logistics of moving this, you know, you've got to take it all with you. If you leave it here, you haven't got it. So what's that been like packing?
It's been a huge push to get us this far, Le Mans and onwards, but we have had the luxury of taking our trucks with us to the event. So for the most part, we decant everything from the workshop, put them into trucks, take it to the event, and they're at the back of our garages. Obviously, from now on, we've got to pack everything we think we need for 5 races all around the world, and we've got to put it into boxes like these. So everything we own, everything we think we'll need, and probably stuff we won't need as insurance, we'll be taking in packing cases. And that's arguably a bigger task than what we've done to date. I mean, the cars we're now very familiar with, and we kind of into a routine with what we do with them. We know what we take to a regular race, but planning for 5 races where there's no availability to pop back to the workshop or pop back to the truck, you have to have the equipment with you. So this is a big, big task.
What's a day in the life like for a mechanic that works here in this facility?
Well, I think this is as glamorous as probably perceived from the outside. You know, at the racetrack, we're wearing all the shiny overalls, and in the race, there's the action of the pit stop. But obviously, here is where the mundane stuff takes place. All the 99% of it happens behind the scenes. Very routine jobs: stripping cars, rebuilding cars, going through components, checking them, rechecking them, relubricating them, refitting them. You know, it's a lot of repetitive kind of work.
You are practicing something today, I believe?
Yeah, this is part of our repetition, to be honest. Obviously, pit stops make up a huge part of the race now, because so much of it is controlled with the balance of performance, and equally the fuel flow times are now monitored, so we can't go much faster with our fuel flow. So there is a potential to make maybe 2 seconds in a pit stop. Well, 2 seconds in terms of car performance is a huge sum, and would probably cost $100,000 to try and find that. Yeah. So if you can just make the guys run a little faster or work the wheel gun a little faster, it's almost 2 seconds for free. So yeah, so we're putting a lot of background work into it now. And we stop every 50 to 60 minutes, potentially in a 6-hour race. You know, we're making 10 seconds. 10 seconds in car speed is huge. We'll cross the $200,000. You know, I don't know how much that would cost. It's a huge gain to try and make. So it's as close to something for nothing as we can get. Obviously, it's a lot of hard work, but it doesn't actually physically cost, or it doesn't actually cost us anything in terms of pounds, shillings, and pence, I guess.
Describe your perfect pit stop crew member. Like, what are they? Physical attributes?
You saw in our pit crew, we have a different size and shape of people. We have tall people, short people, but it's whether they're, you know, fast of foot and just good hand-eye coordination, and just don't get flustered. You know what I mean? It's because when we practice here, the pressure's off. You know, if we drop a wheel nut or the wheel jams, yeah, okay, we've lost 5 seconds. But in a race, that 5 seconds takes on much, much more. So it's someone who, whilst they do it as a routine and they're very, very quick, equally, if it goes wrong, they minimize the impact to us. So, you know, what potentially could be 10 seconds lost, maybe if someone's familiar and quick to respond, could be 2 seconds, which still is a pain to take, but of course it's not the same as, you know, taking a huge time penalty, or worse still, we get a drive-through penalty. You know, if we infringe on any of the rules and regulations, we get a drive-through, which is potentially 50 seconds, which kills the race straight away for us.
We won't hold you up any longer because I know you guys have got pit stop challenges to do, so we'll let you go. But just before you do, perhaps we could have a look in some of the drawers and see what's there. So
I think we start with this drawer, and we may find some product you're familiar with,
wow.
Mark.
Look at that! Huh? I know. What about the one below it?
I believe
We got a bit more down
you
here?
might just be in luck.
Oh.
Too much. That was too much, wasn't it, that last bit?
We've had a fantastic day here at Ford Chip Ganassi Racing, and the lovely people inside are giving us all this great stuff to give away to one of you lucky winners. So all you need to do is hit subscribe and we'll choose one of you to win all this, some Autoglym gear, and these. Good luck. Thanks for watching.